folks. Restaurants, bars, clubs, everything that's in this industry. We're all trying to take your money.
If you want to know what it's like to be a real chef, then get your brain box popped for some real talk.
Christmas time.
Yeah, I don't think people appreciate. Okay, I just hate it so much, so it's really hard for me not to make those agonist sounds because every time I think about it, it's like re-traumatizing, and we're in the middle of it now. Well, the end, because it does end, folks. It does end. Christmas starts in like September.
For some reason,
it comes out of nowhere because you don't expect it because we haven't even hit Halloween yet, but it does come in September. It usually starts with, regardless of what type of organization you're involved with, it starts with whoever your superior is coming to you and going, "Hey, do you have a Christmas menu?" I'm like, "No, of course we don't." I don't give.
We haven't even thought Thanksgiving yet.
I'm just getting at, like, at this point, you're in fall flip. So usually what happens, okay, so people in bigger cities, you have to stay ahead of things, and at minimum you have 4 flips a year of your menu. It is seasonal. You do flips. If you're not flipping your entire menu, you're probably changing or adding like some sort of supplemental menu. For like small franchises, it's a supplemental menu. There's actually 2 a year that you automatically have to do. There's Summerlicious and Winterlicious in Ontario.
Mostly Toronto, but yeah.
Which is painful because now you're making a cheapy mini menu.
Let's see how we can make a 5-course menu or a 4-course menu that really barely breaks even for the restaurant.
And the problem is you can't just take off your normal menu and be like, all right.
No, it's got to be different.
No, it's got to be a totally different thing. So now you're adding another like 8 things to your.
Yeah.
And then you have whatever, like a lot of people like feature menus for the whole season. So now you've got another like 8 to 10 items. And then owners, for some strange reason, really love to load up menus and then go, why is it so expensive? You're like, well, I hate it.
Because you like that feature that one time. Like,
so like, I mean, there's a lot of pressures. And then now you have Christmas. And no matter where you work, where you live, and I don't dismiss this as being an incredibly important part of a business and its growth, but you're doing parties, whether it's bigger reservations all at the same time, or it's like I have catering and I close my restaurant for that, which, by the way, love that. I love it.
It's the best way to do it.
But if not, you're just doing big groups and you're getting your face beaten, and it's always during your dinner hour. It's never early. You can ask for it. You can be like, "Hey, can we bring that really big party in at like 5?" And they're like, "No, that wouldn't be dinner." And then you're like, "Cool, I just want."
Okay, but we've got that other really big party, like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know, right? Right?
Like,
it's gonna be so fun. No, it's not. It's not gonna be fun. It's
I have to plate 110 plates in the next 14 minutes. Like,
guys, go see how much strip we have done. Oh shit. Like, it's just gonna be one of those nights.
Go to that business, or that we're going back to Christmas now. That business Christmas party, right? You have no choice. You work in the office. You gotta make face. You gotta go sit down. But you're dairy and gluten intolerant. The menu is already set. There's only so much you can do. You know.
Here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not saying it from that perspective. My mentality as a chef, especially as a marketable chef, is I will sell you on something that works for what you need within your budget. So when I go to Christmas, and I'm like, as a person who's done catering and has managed to run a catering company. So in the North, when I was working in this one place, I basically was the driving force behind everything. So catering for me was like, I make contact. People called me. So when I was talking about Christmas, I would pitch it this way. Like, let's assume that everybody is a couple, right? And let's assume that each couple, right, has a Christmas party. which means you, as a one individual, have the opportunity to go to at least one Christmas party because of your spouse or your partner or whatever. Single people once, but whatever. They might be a date. They might have two. So ultimately, everybody's at base going to go for two Christmas parties. But wait, there's more. If everybody has two, then they're at least going to a family thing, right? So that's three, right? And
Yeah.
then, of course, if you're making a Christmas yourself, that's four. So this is four times where you're eating the exact same items. Why don't you do something different? Here's what I would suggest. And then you suggest something that works within your stuff. I always go with a fucking tostada bar because it's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, I can have vegan items on it and it won't corrupt the dish and I can break it up
Exactly.
and it's
Never
smart.
played it yourself. Yeah.
Like I don't have a problem with that. That's the smart money. Unless someone comes to me and says, I can guarantee to you that there's no intolerances. And I'm like, wicked. So here's what I would do. I still pitched outside of Christmas because I think Christmas is boring. And I still reinforce the fact that I want to be remembered. See, I can't stress this enough. I don't want people to remember me as a caterer or as a chef for my turkey. I want them to be like, I had a great time. This was really amazing. They did everything I needed them to do and surpass my expectations. That means that I can then be whatever I need to be for you at the time in which you need me, rather than the guy at Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of people forget is that, you're constantly performing, whether you're the chef who's standing in front of the client saying like, hi, this is what I do. I prefer to do it that way because I usually work with people that don't speak my language. So if they don't speak my language, it becomes very difficult to try to explain to them how to pitch a menu, right? Like if you don't understand why a demi glaze is important and how much work goes into it.
Yeah.
But in the converse side, most chefs are at socializing or being social with customers, which makes them very, very, very handcuffed to a third party.
Mostly we hate it. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the problem. See, and this was the one thing that kind of gave me a leg up on most of my competitors, because that's what it is, was that I had all this front of house experience and I had worked with
Prior
clients and
to.
I'd
Yeah.
done these. So I was able to be like, no, I'll talk to them. And I can speak both languages. And at some point, I'd love to talk about that. But I do believe that there are two distinct languages that are used. There's kitchen speak and there's definitely front of house speak. And there's very
Yes.
different mentalities to the way their teams are structured and how they operate with each other and so on and so on. It's not a one size fits all kind of concept. That's why culturally both houses don't really get along, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean,
No, that makes sense. Like it really does.
so
I've
you
learned
have to.
even over the last little bit, like how it is to really talk with people rather than just giving them food and saying thank you. Like it's the whole conversation behind it. It's the whole everything behind it. You know,
The
you might be a
vulnerability,
fired up. Yes.
the vulnerability of corporations, the vulnerability of any corporation, regardless of what it is that its entire drive is to externalize cost and simplify to be profitable. This is why providing experiences and building experiences for guests
Yeah.
is will stand out, but I don't think you can do it in a restaurant setting anymore. I think that's why I've always said this. Catering is the future of our business and will always be the best way to go for specifically creative people. Again, if you want, listen, I can't do the corporate thing. I can't stand in a corner and just and check mark. Listen, I get paid really well. I'm stupid. I'm very
That's
stupid,
what a lot of people want, though, right? And it's just like,
but that's not fun. And that's
of
me.
course, it's not fun. And as a
I'm
chef,
an
it's
idiot.
not fun. But those are for
But
line
no,
cooks. Those are the ones that want to say hashtag chef life. Those are the ones that want to say hashtag food porn. It's the same thing that the menus had on the commercial restaurant for the last 20 goddamn years. Oh, I'm sorry, they switched the pickles on their chicken sandwich? Like, are you kidding me? No, you do the catering and you do like that's where you do the private dining. Let me come
yeah, it's
to
it's
your house.
specialized, but you have to sell it too.
Yes.
Like you basically have to go out there and do exactly what we're doing right now, which is just saying, okay, so you're all sheeple. You don't know it. This
Yeah.
has just been very well done because that's what happened. What happened was the
Yeah.
corporations just took up the majority of the space, saying, "Eventually, you'll fall in line. You'll either die because I can outsource you, I can
Yeah.
outpush you, I can outmarket you, and I can outbuy you because now I have ins with Cisco and GFS, which means I automatically get price drops." Again, I'm not faulting them. We are in a listen, folks, restaurants, bars, clubs, everything that's in this industry, we're all trying to take your money. We're
That's all
not
we do.
nice. What was it? CM Punk said it. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. That's
Do we
what
want
we
to serve
do.
you? Yes, we do.
You've
But
got
what's the promise behind it?
the people
Pay
that you
us.
work with, like
Yeah.
for chefs like Keith and I, we get off on doing certain things. So we're trying to satisfy our crack addiction. For most
This is
chefs
our
in
addiction.
this
Yes.
in this game are like they're like high school track teams,
Yes.
right? You've got like the top tier dudes or girls or men or women or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
They want to be
Everybody.
whatever they want
Anyway,
to be.
the top tier of people. And it's a very small percentage. You remember them in high school. They were like the people that people admire. And then you've got like the people who are chasing those people, right? And they're a little bit more, but they're like, I'm talking like they have a realistic expectation that they could potentially catch the super popular, successful people, the small percentage. And they're a little bit of a small percentage themselves. Then you've got like a bunch of people that feel like they could do it, might do it. There's a bigger amount of them, but they're not in that threatening position to the top. And they're kind of nipping at the heels of the people chasing the top. And then there's everybody else who thinks they're good at something and tries their hardest, but just suck, and they're bad, and they should
We're
never
bad.
have done this. And most of them have like they don't commit to practice, for instance, or they think they can do stuff, but they don't because they just can't. Like that kind of illusion of knowledge we have to see. There's a lot of them, and all of them are really good at interviewing, which I don't know if you've experienced
Like
interviewing.
the paper doesn't.
Wow,
Yeah.
this guy's amazing. I'm so
No,
excited. Why can't
look at
you
all of
cook
his
more than one
credentials.
shit at a time? Why are your green onions not uniformly cut? Oh my god, this is simple. So like
Yeah.
people don't understand that most places don't stage people. We don't do practical interviews. We don't actually have time because most of us are actually working.
I throw out 95% of the resumes that I get served to me.
Here's
If
one.
not if not more.
I had a resume come in on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's like 12:30. I run a brunch.
12:30.
What do you think I did with that resume?
You right in the
I
garbage.
threw it right in the
12:30.
garbage. Like, no one's
Yeah.
coming in to the restaurant
Monday.
in the middle of a Sunday rush brunch and handing your shit into here and thinking I'm gonna be like, whoa, oh, I'm really interested. I didn't
Yeah.
even look
Yeah.
at it. I was like,
You
yep,
dumb
this is
like
happening.
yeah.
Like, I know this for a fact. I know this. It's fine. I like dogs. I like ducks. I like caravans more.
I like Dogs. No, dogs.
Ducks.
No, I've had like groups of people come in at like 6:30 on a Friday night. Like 5 of them come in together,
What's up?
all
I
handing
have a
resumes
job.
together. And I'm just
2
like, all right,
jobs.
and right in front of them, just in the garbage. Ask the bartender, can I have that garbage can for a second, please? And I just do it right in front of them. Can I
I've
have
handed
that? Yeah.
back
Can I have that one?
resumes.
Yeah.
I've
You
had
know.
like I'm like, we'll get that guy to come back here for a sec. He comes back. I'm like, here's your resume back.
Oh,
I'm like,
sometimes
yeah.
there's get back here,
But
but
I don't want you to use up this paper on me because I'm gonna give you some education. And I usually give them a dad like lecture.
but I just
Like I'm
really need a job. And I'm like, I
like
get
then
it,
you
but
should
you're
know better. Then you should know
yeah.
better. Anybody
Can
who
you at
has
least Google? Like we have
any
these
of
things, right?
you,
We
any of
have
you
these things.
kids, any of you kids out there who have like
Yeah. Can
dishwashed
you
for
just
like
Google
3 weeks.
once? What's the best time to go and drop a resume off
No,
at a
no, just
restaurant?
don't do that. Just if you've ever dishwashed and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get another job," call your old boss and go like, "Hey, when wouldn't you want me to drop off a resume?" And I will tell you, any
Yeah.
kitchen person will give you a very clear understanding of when not to drop off your resume. Best time to do it, morning, before
Morning.
they open, because I'll be there. I'm like, oh, cool, okay. You know when you're most aware as a chef? When you first get there,
Just
and
you
you're
want to show
not
up at eight
getting
o'clock in
there
the
in the
morning?
middle of
I will sit
rushes
down. I have
because if you're on
time
your
to sit
shift,
down because I've just poured my coffee. I've already
seven
gone over
o'clock
the
in the morning,
scene. Yeah, you
seven
want to
seven to
really
nine
do it?
a.m.
Yep.
Come here.
If you liked what you heard, like and subscribe to the channel. Take a moment to help two chefs get right. They need it.